Nice FA Cup quarter-final picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy promo code PLGP to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cashback rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, March the 27th. We are here to ease our way back in to the running of the football season. I feel like we've had a couple of weeks off. It's been pretty chilled out. We haven't been asked to do anything, basically. Still basking in the glory of Newcastle's cup win. But we've got the FA Cup quarter-finals this week, which is a nice little warm-up for a full slate of Premier League action. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire, it's Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, do you want to tell everyone why we're giggling at each other here for no good reason?
I've just got a severe case of deja vu going on here, Malcolm. I'm sure I've heard this all before. So yes, I did turn up late, as I always do. And then what we did is we turned the countdown on. Malcolm done his ad reads. The music came on. Malcolm introduced himself. We had a little bit of a chat and then realised we hadn't started recording. So nobody was listening to any of it. So, take two. Here we go.
So we did the entire first 4 minutes of the show just talking to ourselves. So that was good, Baz. You were asking me why I was jumping about in the when the introduction was playing. It's opening day of the MLB season, Barry, as you know. I run the very popular MLB gambling podcast show. So opening day is mad exciting because it's like the first day of the Premier League season. So there's 14 games today. I am currently sweating out loads of them and really quite badly. I'm doing quite a bad job. I need some stuff to go my way. But no one cares. It's fun. And it's a 162-game season. So you can't get too down, Barry, on day number one, because holy shit, it's going to be a long fight back.
I'm just pleased you're not sweating out any of that ballers shit. MLB is slightly more of a sport than that stuff you were going on about the other day.
Mate, it was very exciting, and all the young people, if you weren't such a curmudgeon...
Well, you're not a young person. This is the problem. It's not for us, Malcolm. This is what I tell you. It's not for people like us.
But I did tell you that it was help for me to spend time with my teenage boy, which, as you know, the children have absolutely no need for me or you. Well, we're absolutely redundant, Barry. Those kids have no requirement for us whatsoever, other than to drive them about. So when I get the chance to spend a little bit of time and watch Division 6 footballers with funny haircuts do Maradona spins in an inside arena, then that's exactly what we'll do. Who's in the chat? So there was quite a lot of people who turned up late, which was quite good, really, that we did those first 5 minutes to ourselves. Lee was first in. Lee, welcome along. Callum, still smarting, I imagine, from being dominated by Newcastle last weekend. Andy's here. We need to talk about Andy in a bit. Harry and the Backus family. Because actually, I'm going to start with Liverpool, Baz. I've got a few bits and bobs. We've got plenty of time to chit-chat tonight. Liverpool, I don't understand this. I don't know. We'll probably get Callum in the chat. But the Trent Alexander-Arnold news this week that he's off to Real Madrid. But the Liverpool fans have gone full potato about it, and I've no idea why. I understand what's happened, but I don't understand the level of potato. Like, they've gone fucking mental, Barry, like, insane. And I know the X algorithm is mad. You look at one thing now, and that's it. That's all you get. You look at one trend post, it's all trend posts. And I've seen Alexander Isak in a Liverpool shirt 500 times in the last 2 hours. But can you shed any light? Do you have a strong opinion on the Liverpool fans going full potato over Trent I'm just a little bit baffled by it.
Yeah, it's all a little bit odd, isn't it? I mean, especially as it seems to have been coming for about 6 months anyway. It's been the worst kept secret in football that Trent Alexander-Arnold was going to go to Real Madrid. And I just think, he's given them plenty of years. He's won plenty of trophies with them. And he wants to do something different. It happens, doesn't it? In the same way, like Ronaldo left Man United and went over there. And I don't know. I think it's all a bit blown out of proportion. Certainly, talking about he shouldn't play again, he shouldn't be welcome on the open top bus if they win the Premier League, booing him for the rest of the season. I just think it's all a bit bizarre for a lad who's given years and years of his career to them. But I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I really couldn't give a fuck.
I'm just trying to think of like an equivalent, like for Newcastle that either did happen or like could happen or could have happened in the past that would have anyone reacting like that. And I just can't, because good players leave and it's part and parcel. But they seem to have taken it as an absolute personal attack. Like every single one of them has just taken it as a personal attack. And I'm just baffled by it. Bear in mind, they like to tell you that you'll never walk alone, but it turns out you'll never walk alone on their fucking terms. Other than that, you very much walk alone. So yeah, if you've got an opinion on that, Callum, by all means, let us know. I did the notes for this show, Barry, last night in the swimming baths not in the swimming baths. That would have been treacherous.
It'll be a bit soggy, won't it?
Well, to be fair, you made pics from the Red Sea last year, so that was good. What's it called? Anyway, down Wallsend swimming baths. Anyway, where I've mentioned before, all the women who look like Steve Bruce do aqua aerobics. But I made a note of, I wrote down the playlist, Baz, for the aqua aerobics. So this is what the Steve Bruce's all danced to last night. And at various times, the woman on the side who's doing it, she turns the music down so you can join in the singing. So the 45 Steve Bruce's all join in with, amongst other things, Hi Ho Silver Lining. Good that. Simply the Best. Classic. Hey Baby. Ooh. That one. Timber. You know that one? I go it down. It go with Timber. Ooh, Kesha with a dollar sign. Cotton Eye Joe, obviously. I saw a great fight on the dance floor in a nightclub to Cotton Eye Joe. Loads of people were just swinging, like proper swinging themselves around to Cotton Eye Joe whilst there was a fight going on in the middle of the dance floor. 95, I'm going to say. Gangnam Style. That surprises. Didn't expect that. And Gangnam Style went straight into 500 miles by the Proclaimers. And all of them are too fast. They're not just the normal version. They've got the BPM right up as well. So all of those songs at 1,000 miles an hour with the woman turning it up and down so the Steve Bruces can join in. So I enjoyed all of that, Barry. Did you see my Tory scran yesterday?
I did, yes. The jury's out for me on the old Trout. I've never enjoyed Trout in my life. As you know, Malcolm, I think I've given you a few trout over the years. Because Darren goes fishing.
Your kids
coming with the trout. I always find trout when it's been caught, fresh sort of thing. It's always quite an earthy flavour to it that I don't quite like.
Well, I must admit, Baz, don't tell your kid. The last time he gave me some, they tasted of mud. Like you say, it's an earthy flavour. I think you're being polite. I don't know where he got them from or what he'd done with them, but they tasted of mud. So Andy, who's in the chat here, Andy Williams, he just sent me a photo the other day that he was fishing. So I joked and he said, bring us some fish. And sure enough, Bob came home from training the other night with 3 big fuckers. So I had to get my pinny on and I gutted them. You know me being quite the outdoors man, Barry. I gutted them. I probably wasted, I'm like the head end and the tail end, I probably wasted about 20%. But there was shit everywhere, by the way. The IT department wasn't thrilled about the amount of gunk. There was gunk, everywhere. I got it on every surface, up the walls, ceiling, everywhere. But I did quite a good job of cleaning them and then stuffed them with lime, tomato, and spring onion and just baked them for 20 minutes, Baz. And they were an arc to triumph. I did put a picture on Twitter, and Lee's reckons they looked a bit underdone. They didn't. I know what you mean in the picture. there's like a couple of red streaks. It was either the lighting or something. Could have even been a little bit of tomato residue. But they were, trust me, they were very well done. But
it did look good. I've just always been a bit sceptical about trout as a fish.
No, fair enough, Baz. You know, we can't all like the same things. And final bit of crack here is Courtney mentioned the battleship's replacement. Well, I've got an update, Barry. And now this could be one of those things where I'm going to build it up too much, because it could very well be shite. But the feature that's going to replace battleships, I've had to pre-order it, Barry. Pre-order it. It's not released until April the 10th. This is how exciting this is. Given it the big build-up, this could be an absolute comedy cul-de-sac. Like, I'm never going to reverse out of this. But I've had to pre-order it off the Amazon April the 10th. And you don't know what it is, Baz. I've kept it a secret because I don't want you to say, that sounds a bit shit, mate, and like burst me bubble. So we'll have to see. I think that's all my crack, Barry. You got anything else you want to talk about before we turn our attention to the Cup?
I'm just intrigued as to what we're waiting 2 weeks for. But no, other than that, not much crack.
Cluedo, but it's not Cluedo. I wouldn't have to pre-order Cluedo, would I, you bozo? It's been available for 100 years.
No, I'm sat here watching the old darts tonight, which is obviously a bit more interesting than that baseball shite. It's at Newcastle tonight. Did you see any of it? You won't have been interested, will you?
No.
Chris Dobie came out, a local hero, and war flags were there with all the Newcastle flags for him, so that was good. He then got beat comprehensively, but all the Toon players are there as well. Obviously, continuing their celebrations with a few beers and a bit of darts.
Are you coming to the parade on Saturday?
I am, yep. I will be travelling up tomorrow. As soon as the kids finish school, I'm driving up to Newcastle. Spend Saturday up there with the celebrations and then driving straight back Saturday night because I've got kids' football Sunday morning.
Yeah, nice one. I offered my spare tickets to your brother. He said no. I then gave them to somebody else. He then messaged me 2 hours ago asking if he could have them. And I had to tell him to sod off because he'd given them away. So how's your luck? Sorry, Jamie. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I'm going to work. I would have stayed around early on to watch all I wanted to do was watch a bus go past, and then I would have got on with the rest of my life. But I'm in Knaresborough. I'm at Knaresborough Town Football Club on Saturday for a football social. Might be there. I don't think it's their end of season, but the first team are coming down, having a bit of disco and stuff like that. My mate's 2 kids are on loan there at Knaresborough Town from various places. So I'll take the casino down there and have a right good drink up with Chinny. Chinny is a top-class boozer. So I look forward to that, Baz. FA Cup, we're going to have a little chat about it. We'll have a chat about the outrights as well, because there's a couple of ways to look at the teams that are left in. Download the SGPN app, wherever you get your picks and podcasts in one place. Brace yourself for the DraftKings ad read coming in. Go and put the kettle on. And when it comes to college basketball and March Mania, nothing is for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, top seeds going home. Bet the unexpected. Every upset, every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos, parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. And first-timers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 88778-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467369. In Connecticut, help's available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Fucking wallop. And Rhythm is your home for AI picks and props. Rhythm is already off to a great start, helping you dominate March Madness. Build your own custom model is easy and profitable. They've got models for NBA, golf, and MLB. Is coming soon. Sign up for a 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Fefwef's joined us in the chat. Fefwef. Talking of golf, I'm playing golf in the morning, Baz. my biannual round. Arranged to have a game. I said I'd play. A couple of the other dads have been pestering us for a game. I said I'd play. Messaged me earlier on, 7:52 tea time. Now, you know me, Barry. I'm not a morning person. He said, is 8 o'clock too early? I said, fucking 11 o'clock's too early for me. Like 8 o'clock. And then it's not even 8 o'clock, it's 7:52. That's inhumane, that. I'm very unlikely to be able to, especially when I want to stop half the night and watch a bit of baseball, but. So early in the comments, someone was saying the FA Cup's a bit grim. And like I said, there's two ways to look at this, because I think what they were getting at was that you've got some of the lesser lights left in. Of the 8 teams remaining, Manchester City are probably the one of, if you want to call it, a top 6, 7, whatever that bollocks is. Villa are there. And then you've got the glob of middle teams. Fulham, Palace, Brighton, Forest, and Preston from the Championship. So is this good or is this bad, Barry?
I don't mind it, to be honest. Mainly because, like, I'm not asked about seeing Arsenal or Liverpool or Chelsea win more things. That doesn't bother me. So, yeah, I'd quite happily see the likes of Fulham, Palace, Brighton, Forest pick up this trophy. It doesn't, anyone but Man City really would be a refreshing change. Very similar to when we beat Liverpool the other week. Almost everybody you spoke to who wasn't a Sunderland fan or a Liverpool fan was happy to see somebody else win it. So I'm the same. I'm quite happy for somebody else to have a go. It's an opportunity there, isn't it? Especially with Man City not playing very well. Big opportunity for all those teams that are still there.
The difference is for me, Baz, and it's a huge difference. I used to get really pissed off at seeing another team that wasn't us win something. That's why I was never bothered by Manchester City. I was happy for Manchester City win everything.
I'm the same. It's probably changed in the flick of a switch.
And now I don't care. If I see, like 2 weeks ago, if I saw Brighton or Fulham or Forest waving a trophy about, it would have done my dinger in. The same as when I saw back in Wigan, Leicester, Middlesbrough, fucking Norwich, Coventry City. The list is absolutely endless. Swansea City. I hated it, Baz. I hated it. It used to chew us up inside. As of 6 o'clock 2 Sundays ago, couldn't care less. Quite happy for them. So a huge change in my life. Yeah, and I don't mind it at all. I'm quite happy. I like it. There's some good games. There's some close games. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into. I bet they're right shit times, aren't they? 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. We've got a Saturday lunchtime kick-off, 12:15, which is 11:15. No, it's not. 8:15 Eastern time. Oh, this is going to bugger me up because when do the clocks go back, Baz?
Saturday night.
Ah, you see. Whoa, we're going to have to be clever. So we've got a 4-hour difference on Saturday and a 5-hour difference on Sunday. I'll let you work that out yourself. The early kickoff on Saturday is Fulham and Crystal Palace. Fulham are 13-10 plus 130. The draw is 11-5 plus 210. Plus 220, sorry. And Palace are 11-5 plus 220. Fulham got that win on penalties in the last round at Manchester United. Inconsistent. 1-5, lost 4 in their last 9 games. So they're kind of all over the place. There's no trends at all, overs, unders. The head-to-heads offer you no help. Both teams won a game each, 2-0. Both won away from home, 2-0 actually. Palace won this fixture 3-4 weeks ago, 2-0. You really can't choose between them. Palace have won 6 of the last 8, though. They've won last 4 away games, all 2-0. Yeah, I think you made that point in the last round of fixtures, Baz, in the league. Hard to choose, but I think the team who were the bigger price are in better form. So, not necessarily on the outright. This could easily be the 1-1 of the week. But ignoring all of that, I'm going to take Palace to qualify. Palace to emerge from the tie is 11-10 plus 110. Like I say, they're really hard to split, and Palace are a bigger price. You can't knock their away form at all recently. So I think you're getting the team in better form at a bigger price. Palace to qualify, 11 to 10, Barry.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Well done. Pat on the back for you
Hey!
there. I feel like the books are still sleeping on Palace a little bit because I expected these two to be a little bit closer together in the betting, if I'm honest. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 6 of the last 7 in all competitions. And going back further, they've won 9 of the last 11 now. 7 of the 9 wins were by 2 goals or more as well. So they're winning by comfortable margins often enough. They've lost only 2 games since Christmas, and both of them were home games. So turns out their away form is better than their home form. They've beat Fulham lately 2-0 just 4 weeks ago, as you mentioned. And if you look at the away form on its own, as I say, 5 wins in a row and lost only 1 of the last 12, I think, away from home now. So really, really good form away from home. You just said 4 2-0 wins in a row in the league. If you add the cup one in as well, it's actually 5 in a row. The last 5 away games have all finished 2-0 to Palace, which is a little bit nuts, really. Fulham have been a bit trickier to predict. Plenty of good wins in their recent form. Wins over Newcastle, Spurs, Forest, for example. But then defeats to Brighton, Palace, West Ham, Man United since the new year. So Fulham are a little bit more all over the place. Like you, I just think the Palace form looks a bit more reliable here. And as an underdog, they look the better value. So I looked at exactly the same things. I thought Palace at 11 to 5 is a good price. But at a safer play plus money, I'll take Palace to qualify at 11 to 10.
Okay, team right, Baz. 5:15 on Saturday tea time, which is 1:15 Eastern time. We have Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Nottingham Forest. Brighton are 4 to 5, minus 125, 29 to 10, the draw, plus 290. Forest 21 to 10, plus 210. Another tricky one, Baz.
Yeah, this one is tricky. Brighton absolutely flying at the moment. 7 games unbeaten. They were on a 6-game winning streak before the draw with Man City last time out. The last time they lost was actually against Forest in that crazy 7-0 at the City ground. I think we said at the time, Brighton could easily have been 1-0, 2-0 up in that game, had their chances, and then all of a sudden it just unravelled. Don't see it being quite like that again. I think they've hit something like 6 or 7 games in a row have gone overs now for Brighton. I've wrote something down, but then missed the number of games. I've wrote down that lots of games in a row have went over 2.5. Let's just say that. And Brighton have scored at least 2 goals themselves in 7 straight games now. Forest come into this off the back of 2 league wins. They had a really good win against City at home before breezing past Ipswich last time out. Prior to that, they hadn't been getting it all their own way. They were on a 5-game winless streak prior to those 2. That's inside 90 minutes, including some struggles in this competition. They needed extra time and penalties against Exeter and against Ipswich in the last 2 rounds. Forest rested a few players in those games. And while obviously their priority this year will still be making sure they secure that top 4, top 5 spot, at this stage, with a trip to Wembley, you'd be surprised if they weren't going to go full tilt in a quarter final in a team that's against a team that's, you know, certainly there for the taking, not there for the taking, but a game where they should be competitive. So there was the 7-0 at Forest. The other fixture, the home fixture for Brighton, finished 2-2. But my first thought when I got to this one was Brighton, just the form they're on at the moment, and the potential that they might just be a bit more up for this competition than Forest, given what we've seen so far. Forest making hard work of it. Brighton, on the other hand, have beaten Newcastle and Chelsea in the last 2 rounds. So they've beaten off good opponents and probably good comparisons for this one as well. The pick I wanted was actually Brighton team total over 1.5 goals. I mentioned before they've hit that in 7 straight games now. It's a little bit short at 8 to 11, but that would be my preferred pick here. I thought if you wanted someone a little closer to even Brighton on the money line, I don't mind at 4 to 5. But my pick's going to be a little short one on this one. Brighton team total. Brighton to score 2 or more at 8 to 11.
Seeing in the chat, I'd missed this news that Chris Wood got injured playing for New Zealand the other day. I knew they beat New Caledonia 3-0, but I didn't see that Wood is injured. So Taiwo Awini we'll come in for that. Did you see, Barry, just off topic, the HOPENY score the other night?
No.
Oh, mate. After all, it's a good job we never handicapped him. We'd have done our tits. They drew 3-3 with Mauritius after 712 consecutive 0-0 draws. They played out with 3-3 draw with Mauritius, so that was fun for HOPENY. Brighton are in good form. 1-4 draw and 1 of the last 5 in the league. That defeat, though, was the mental 7-0 against Forest. There's been minimum 3 goals in all of the last 6 games. Forest have won the last 2. They've had a tough run of fixtures, actually. Newcastle, the League Cup winners, having dominated Liverpool at Wembley 2 weeks ago. They played Arsenal and they played Manchester City. But they've also had some high-scoring games recently. 6 goals against Ipswich was 4-2. 4-3 against Newcastle. 7 goals against Bournemouth. 7 goals in the Brighton game. 5 goals in the Bournemouth game. 5 goals in the Southampton game. That's all in the last 8 games. 5 of them have gone absolutely mental. So, goals is a fair price. Brighton can score them and concede them. Over 2.5 goals is 4-5. Thought it was big enough for me at -125. I'm trying to ignore the comments, Barry, because everyone's just doing cock jokes. We've had, so I think you should all grow up. Really, that's my advice to you people. This is a sensible show. So I'll do some more adverts, Bazzer. That'll concentrate them. Underdog, pick him. You can play any sport and win up to 100 times your money. Our code is PLGP to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer. Up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code PLGP. And Edge Boost has partnered up with SGPN. It's the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of getting your card denied at any of your favourite gambling spots. You can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. Your money's safe. It's FDIC insured. No credit checks. It's completely free. Sign up today. edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Sunday lunchtime, 1:30. Kickoff is Preston North End of the Championship taking on Aston Villa. Preston are 11-2 plus 550. The draw is Burlington Bertie 130 plus 333. Aston Villa are 1-2 minus 200. As Serial joined us in the chat, Serial said he's seen far too much. I mean, Serial, I've done so many shows this week. I can't wait for tomorrow night. I've absolutely exhausted myself. The Pride of Britain Award has got my name on it. Preston beat their poor relations, Burnley, in the last round. Comfortably beat them as well, 3-0. They are 14th in the Championship. They've drawn too many games, basically, is Preston's issue. 6 of the last 8 have gone under 2.5. They're okay at home. They can defend well. They've kept clean sheets in 42% of their home games, Barry, Preston, in that league. You'd expect Villa to get this done, but I don't think they're necessarily going to batter them. I think they might just use a little bit of load management here. They've got a really important game at Brighton midweek in that glob of teams who are spanning 4th to 8th or 9th in the Prem. And then obviously they've got PSG on deck as well. So I expect Villa to get it done, but I don't think they're going to go nuts. And Preston can keep it quite tight. I liked Preston's numbers for the unders at home. So I'm going to stick with the under 2.5 goals, Bars. 9-10, minus 111.
Yeah. I think Preston come to this stage of the tournament having been relatively untested so far. Burnley in the last round, definitely the toughest game they've had. Wickham and Charlton in the rounds before that. And the win over Burnley punctuated a 6-game winless streak for them in the league. They'd not been in great form. They'd not been winning many, as you say, lots of draws. They did snap that streak with a win over Portsmouth last time out, but the form hasn't been too consistent. And I think this is a big step up for them here compared to what they've faced in this competition so far. Villa, I think, look to be getting back to a bit of form. lost just once in their last 9 now in all competitions. And they've had to face West Ham and Spurs in this already, before an easier tie against Cardiff in the last round. We picked for that one was Villa on the handicap, finished 2-0. And I just see it being something very similar. It's not a bad comparison, other than the fact Preston are at home here. Villa were at home last time. Again, with a semi-final in sight, I expect Villa to be going right for it in this one. I don't think their eyes will be on Brighton. I think they'll want to get through and get the place at Wembley for the semis. Real chance of a trophy for all of these teams, as we mentioned, and Villa would be one of them at the front if Man City on to pick it up. I'm going to take Villa to go through, and I'm going to take them go through with relative ease here. We can still both win. I'm going to have Villa on the handicap. Villa minus 1.5 at 6-5. I can see something like a 2-0 like they got against Cardiff, and that way we'll both cash a winner.
Philly's just left the bases loaded in the top of the 9th there, Baz. The dog of the day is live and kicking. Fefwef wants Villa over 1.5 goals and Preston over 1.5 cards. That's a nice play. And Lee would like to point out the Preston are dog shit, which is lovely. Heartfelt analysis from Lee. I like them. I like them. Blackburn. I just want all the Lancashire teams to do well. Just want everyone to have a nice time. The final game is on Sunday afternoon at 4:30. It is Bournemouth taking on Manchester City. Bournemouth are 9-5 plus 180. 5-2 the draw plus 250. Man City 7-5 plus 140. Michael has joined us in the chat, by the way. Michael, watcher, how are you doing? Baz, might be the pick of the weekend, this Bournemouth v Manchester City.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we'll be on opposite sides of this one, just based on how we've gone with these teams in recent weeks.
Oh, no, I disagree. Right. My first line here, Baz, says we're going to end up on the same side of this one.
Well, maybe
so the fact
will,
we've mentioned it, and still we can't even agree on whether we're going to agree. So yeah. Go on then. I think we're going to get. I think we've got the same pick.
I mean, my first thought was fuck me, 7-5 Man City. I never thought we'd be looking at a price like this for Man City to beat Bournemouth in a cup quarter final. I mean, last season, City, if this was this time last year, City would be probably 7-5 away to Real Madrid in a cup game. This year, Bournemouth are a similar price, almost neck and neck in the betting. And I think it shows obviously how far City have fallen, how much of a drop off there has been this season. And they have already had a loss at Bournemouth this season, 2-1, that one finished. City continue to struggle. 3 wins, just 3 wins from their last 8 games now. But you just look at the games they've lost since Christmas, City. They've lost to Real Madrid twice, PSG once, Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest. So those are the only games they've lost. That's 2 of the favourites for the Champions League and the top 3 in the Premier League. So the games they're losing are against sides that are in good form or top sides. In the same period, they've got wins over Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea in the league, which could all be seen as sort of similar comparisons, I think, to this one. And in the FA Cup, they've, similar to some of the other teams I mentioned before, they haven't really been tested yet. They faced Plymouth, Leyton Orient, and Salford, so they have had an easy ride to this point. And I've just been saying for a few weeks now, I feel the Bournemouth bubble might have burst. I took Brentford as an underdog against them last time out. I faded them against Wolves in one of the fixtures that they didn't win against Wolves. And they're now on a 5-game winless streak. And that included the cup game against Wolves last round where they needed penalties to get through. So City are unpredictable, but Bournemouth's form's dropped off. And this is all City have got left, really, other than making sure they finish in the Champions League spots. At these prices, I think you've got to have Man City. City at 7-5 is a price I like. I also like the City team total, so I was torn between the two. City to score 2 or more goals at 4-5 is probably my favourite pick, because you wouldn't put it past them doing something stupid and conceding a couple of goals here. So I do like City a team total at 4-5, but I'm going to take City on the money line. City to win at 7-5 is my main pick here.
So I was right, Barry. We have ended up with the same pick. If you remember that we did that little pick show last week, little futures show, and we both had Bournemouth to finish in the bottom half, didn't we, at 6-1? Because we did think that the bubble had burst. which is why I knew we'd end up on the same side here. We think Bournemouth might have shot the ball. They've got no win in 4. We did take them at 6-1 to finish in the bottom half. Man City's still not very appealing. Like, I would not rush into the window. The home draw with Brighton's kind of symptomatic of what they're doing. The loss at Forest. But also, they're the biggest team left in this competition. And I think they want a trophy. Well, it's a stupid thing to say, they'll want a trophy. But they haven't got a load of other shit to play for. When Liverpool were dominated in the Carabao Cup final 2 weeks ago by Newcastle United at Wembley, Liverpool had other stuff in the fire. Manchester City don't. This is it for them. So, as obvious as it sounds, they'll have a right good go at this. And I just think they're too big a price. Like 7-5 Man City plus 140. I will take them. Baz, so we've got another team right. We've ended up on the same side of quite a lot of stuff there, Baz. But that is it. I'm all done. Do you have anything else you want to tell the people about?
I've put a little ladder together. The 4 teams I think will make the semi-finals.
Have you got a ladder? Have you?
No ladder. I haven't got a ladder this week.
Why?
Well, that's Premier League only, innit? We'll get that next midweek. I've got just teams to qualify. So the 4 teams I think will get into the semis will be Palace to beat Fulham, Brighton to beat Forest, Villa to beat Preston, City to beat Bournemouth. That's all to qualify. So it doesn't need to be in 90 minutes. So Palace, Brighton, Villa, City, all to qualify for the semi-finals. 11-2. I just thought I'd pick my 4. 11-2 is a fair enough price for all of those. So that's my acca for the round as well.
Yes, I like that, Baz. Thank you very much. This was a nice reintroduction into making picks, because there is Premier League next week, Tuesday night, all the way through to Thursday. So we try and do the show on Sunday, Baz, but as already explained, I'm going to be full of beer on Saturday. And you know me, I get quite tired and emotional. The following day...
Monday, I'm travelling to Liverpool, and I will be in Liverpool for 4 days. I don't get back till Thursday night. I've got to go and work in Liverpool for a 3-day stint, which is...
I'll tell you what I'll do, Baz. Again, I like this. We'll have a little bit of production meeting live here now. I will message... Once we've finished, I'll message Scott, and I'll tell him I need Sunday off baseball. There's no way I could do 2 shows. If I can get Sunday off baseball...
Right lazy bastard, like.
It's not a... Listen, I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not choosing to be like this. This is how it is. I'm not going to be able to physically manage it. But I will exert myself. I'll double my efforts to do the Premier League show on Sunday night once I've told Scott that I need Sunday off MLB. So I'll do that the minute we've finished, and we'll do the show on Sunday night. If I can put myself around by about 8 p.m, and now we're picking all the winners, and then we can record at 10. Bish, bash, bosh. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We know it's been a bit of a barren couple of weeks here with futures picks and internationals and FA Cup and all that. But from Sunday, it's very much pedal to the metal between now and the end of the season. Champions League culmination, FA Cup, and, 9 or 10 huge rounds of Premier League games to finish off strong. So thanks, everyone. Good luck with all your picks. Thank you very much, Barry. Hopefully back on Sunday, but you never know. Until then, we'll see you all down the roads. Cheers.